Hello there, this is James and you are watching Tixee Live. And a very good morning to all of you. Now, in today's program, we've got a main headline, which is the main headline dominating the market at the moment, which we'll talk about, which is a follow-on from the story we were talking about yesterday. We've also got the dreaded inflation fear again, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And we'll talk about the overall impact of the market so far into the European session. We're 1 hour in. So anyway, before we get to that, don't forget these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be treated as advice. I do suggest you do your own research and do your own due diligence, and of course know the risks at hand before entering any trade. With that out of the way, let's get cracking. So, what's the main headline? Well, it looks like we've got a done deal. As you remember yesterday, we were talking about the EU summit. The EU summit is 2 days. It starts yesterday, and we'll carry on today. And they was trying to get a deal on doing further sanctions against Russian oil imports. Okay, and those of you who joined me yesterday afternoon, I was telling you that the main sticking point was Hungary, who's very, very dependent on Russian oil for its economy, etc. So that was the sticking point with Hungary yesterday. And don't forget, for any deal to be approved, all 27 members have to approve it. However, late last night, they got a deal across the line. Now, Ursula van der Leyen, that's how you spell it. Anyway, I'm rubbish at names. I'm terrible. Anyway, she's the EU Commission president. Okay, she tweeted late last night, about 1:05 in the morning, I welcome the hashtag EU CEO agreement tonight on oil sanctions against Russia. This will effectively cut around 90% of oil imports from Russia to the EU by the end of the year. Now, don't forget, she did mention this a little while ago, but they've now got the deal across the line, 90%. In fact, another member of the EU Commission, Mr. Charles, where's his name? He goes, Charles Michel, okay? He says, this deal cuts off a huge financing for the Russian war machine, okay? So yeah, the deal is done. So 90%, but there's one exception. This is how they managed to get the deal over the line. And there is one exception, and that is pipeline oil is temporarily excluded from this deal. This keeps Hungary happy, okay? This keeps Hungary happy. This is why they agreed to it. The 90% is mainly oil delivered by sea, okay? But the pipeline, which delivers the oil from Russia to obviously several European nations, is still going to be kept open. Okay, so this helped Hungary to approve the deal. So this is how they got the deal over the line. But however, Ursula did say that in the future, the remaining 10% of Russian oil imports will be addressed. So she's looking to go for 100%. But for now, the deal's done. 90% of oil is going to be, it's going to be stopped to the EU by the end of this year. So yeah, that's a big deal. This is actually the 6th sanctions that the EU has now passed on Russia. So yeah, that's the big story at the moment. This is what the big story is so far in the European session. Again, it was a follow-on from yesterday. I'm glad they managed to get over the obstacle and they've managed to come to some form of agreement. So what is the impact though on the market? And the main impact, of course, is that oil is set for 6 monthly gain. 6 monthly gain, and that's the longest running streak, or winning streak, longest streak of gains in a decade for oil, in a decade. So let's have a quick look at oil as it stands at the moment. Okay, so this is WTI. Currently, we're trading $118.44. $118.44. This is on a 4-hour chart. And though we have the RSI here, it is above 70. So usually the RSI, not usually, but the RSI sometimes is used as an indicator to tell if an instrument is overbought. And the theory is if something's overbought, then the market might start selling again. I think this momentum at the moment, as it stands, is set to, end with a gain again. In fact, we look at Brent, and Brent's trading at $119.96. Brent is set to have its 8th day in a row of gains. So yes, we have oil is very, very bullish because, and this announcement has not helped, obviously. So yeah, $119.97 for Brent. So yeah, that's how understandably oil has been getting gains and been very bullish for a while now, due to obviously the current situation. But what is this doing to the rest of the market? Obviously, you've got high oil prices, and both Brent and WTI are on bull runs. However, this is not helping something else. This is not helping the inflation fears, because as you know, we've spoken on this program quite a fair bit. Inflation is very much dominating the mind of the market because we have got a real inflation crisis. So the fact that we have high oil prices, and potentially they're set to carry on being high, potentially, this is not helping. This is not helping the fears of inflation. And later today, okay, we have the Eurozone HICP, which is basically their consumer price index. As those of you you've seen my program before, we've spoken about the CPI. This is very, very similar. It basically measures the change in the price of a basket of goods like food, clothing, and things like that, and see if it increases in value. And that's inflation. Okay. Now, Eurozone HICP is expected, and it's due in just under 45 minutes time. So that's going to be 9 a.m. UTC, this announcement. So it'll be interesting to see the impact this has on the market. It's expected to be 7.7%. Okay. Just to go to show why the market is really talking about inflation a lot. Back in April, okay, the same report, okay, was 7.5%. March, 5.8%. February, 5.1%. January, 5%. So you can see a steady increase in this figure. So that's what the market is going to be keeping an eye on. Again, driven by this oil story as well. So how's the markets reacted? Let's have a quick little look. Let's have a look. At the moment, we're seeing a little bit of dollar strength. So maybe, swig of water, sorry. That's better. It's getting so dry. We are seeing a teeny bit more of dollar strength. So maybe the market's optimism, though it's still there, there's still a little bit of hope that the Fed and other central banks won't be so aggressive with their rate hikes against inflation. But we are seeing a little bit more concern today. Dollar strength is up against, from yesterday's trading session, up against the British pound, currently trading at 126, 118, okay? It's now under that trend line, which we've been following over the last couple of sessions. So that's fairly interesting. So we've seen a teeny bit of dollar strength against the British pound. Euro is the same. Again, we've seen dollar strength against the euro. Again, it's broken through that trade line we were looking at yesterday, and we've been looking for quite a few sessions. Currently trading now 1.07425. And gold, well, gold is still very much where we left it, to be fair. It's still trading between the key resistance level of $1,865 and that support of $1,834. So it's really stuck between those two levels. It is still above the 100-day moving average, but we are range trading with gold as it stands. So that's how things are looking. For indices, for the stock market, for the markets in the European session, well, so far the FTSE is trading 0.07% higher. DAX is slightly down by 0.72%, and Eurostock is slightly down by minus 0.83%. So tepid. Not incredibly bullish, but anyway, don't forget the US market is back open today as well. So that would be interesting to see because they're coming up again, because obviously it was Memorial Day yesterday. So they're back in action today. So be interesting to see how the US session wakes up to all these other developments. Don't forget, later on tomorrow, we have US ISM manufacturing PMI, US ADP employment on Thursday, and the big one on Friday, NFP, average earnings, and US unemployment. I will be doing a watch along, so please come and join me for that event. Don't forget, I'll be back online again later this afternoon. Be interested to see, I'll be watching that Eurozone inflation report. So it'll be interesting to see the impact that will have when that's announced. And they say just over 45 minutes time. So yeah, I will be back on. Don't forget, it'll be 1 p.m. UTC. So please come and join me, and we'll talk all about the latest developments and potentially what we could look out for in the US session. Okay, so still lots to do, lots to talk about. So yeah, please come along and join me around that time. Now, if you're watching me on Facebook and you like it, give us a follow. If you're watching me on YouTube and you like it, by all means, give me a follow. I've not followed, subscribe, hit the notification button as well, so next time I'm going to live. And if you found this video sort of educational and insightful, and you liked it, give me one of those. It'll make me put a smile on my face. It really will. But on that note, till later this afternoon, remember, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be treated as advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your own diligence. And of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. Till next time, every single one of you out there, trade safe.